Good day, everyone. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing great and feeling groovy, realizing the government doesn't love you, and also realizing that pretty much everything you've been told since the day you were born is a lie. It is August the 2nd of 2025, 11:20 a.m. Mr. Buzz coming to you from the communist shithole known as Ontario, Canada. If you get anything out of this video, please give me a thumbs up. And let's talk about one of the worst addictions that exists in our society, which is gambling. The reason I'm talking about this today is because I went to a corner store to pick something up yesterday, and I literally had to wait for 15 minutes at the cash. People with their scratch tickets. Oh man, I couldn't believe it. People were spending ridiculous amounts of money, and they'd win a couple of bucks. They put it in that machine, it goes winner, and they get all excited, but it's $2. They won $2. They're buying 50 and 60 bucks for these tickets, and they're lucky if they get $6 back. Whoa, what a losing proposition those things are. Now that's just one type of gambling. Sports betting is now so prevalent, it's beyond these sports betting apps that people have, and betting on football games, betting on hockey games, betting on whatever. Those companies are just raking it in. It made me lose all respect for the Trailer Park Boys, actually, because they partnered up with one of those gambling apps, and all that's doing is destroying people's lives, like lots of people. Losing their homes, their life savings, the whole bit, for an adrenaline rush. Now, I've never been a gambler, and usually I don't talk about things like this unless I've experienced them. But I have experienced gambling with someone else, like someone else who was a gambling addict, who I was close to. It's a family member, actually, who near lost her house and the whole bit. I mean, it was really close. And it was actually my parents helped her out and sort of saved the day. I think she had to have a loan co-signed for her or something, or she was going to lose her house and everything. So I spent a lot of time with her when she was heavily into her gambling, and I witnessed how strong the addiction was and what it was doing to her, because a gambler knows what they're doing is a losing proposition, but they keep holding on to that hope that they're going to hit the big one and they're going to win all their money back. They hardly ever do. Hardly ever. And they'll go to any lengths to get more money, to keep trying and keep trying, and they just dig deeper and deeper and deeper until there's no way to dig out. That's the end of it. It was really hard to witness. This person was really heavily addicted, and we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars in before the problem was rectified. I think these days, I haven't seen this family member in a while, but I think she finally did beat it. If you're gambling, it is the same thing as a drug addiction. Okay, it's not in the way that the drug addiction will harm your body, of course, and the gambling, it still will, because it'll stress you out to the point where you actually make yourself sick. You worry so much once you've lost a bunch of money. Maybe you lost your rent money or your mortgage money, whatever, and then you'll just stress beyond belief because you did that, and the guilty feelings and all that. But the reason it's like a drug addiction is because you're looking for that adrenaline rush. You're looking for some dopamine, right? That's what drugs are. Releasing of dopamine and feeling pleasure. Well, winning money, I guess, does the same thing. I have gambled twice just to see what it was all about in a casino. The first time was it was an anniversary of my first wife. She wanted to go to the casino for our anniversary. I said, okay, let's try it out. I've never done it. We went in. We put $1 in a slot machine, hit the button, and won $32. We looked at each other. Let's get out of here. So we were up $32. We went out to supper. We weren't even risking losing another dollar. So that was my first experience. The second time, a casino again in Toronto with some friends. And I think I put $3 in the slot machine and won like 150. Did really good that time. So I bought everybody supper and that's it. Didn't gamble anymore. Most people will not do that. Most people, as soon as they win, that gets the adrenaline going, that gets them excited, and they will keep on going till they lose everything they just won. I looked at it as both times, like the first time, $32. That's good enough for me. That's $32 I didn't have. Why would I give it away? I'm going to keep that. And of course, the 150, even more so. It's like, well, there's no way I'm gambling that away. That's a nice win. But I never returned to gambling after that. That's the only 2 times I ever did it. I don't think I've ever bought a scratch ticket. I don't think. I've never bet on sports. It never appealed to me. So it's just, but I watched them in the store down here with their scratch tickets and these break opens, they call them. And they put a big garbage can there so people can stand. They buy 50 or 100 of these things and keep breaking them open and throwing them in the garbage if they're no good, and they'll stand there I was in there for 15 minutes waiting for people to get their scratch tickets dealt with, and there was a person at that garbage can the whole entire 15 minutes doing break opens. Whoa. And I started calculating how much money was actually being spent. I mean, it rivals the liquor store, I'm sure. It's crazy. And out of 5 people in the line, at least 4 of them, that's why they're there. I think that's the main thing here in Ontario anyway, in Canada. That is the main thing that the store sells. I think they sell more lotto tickets and scratch tickets than any other item, which is really, really sad. Now, as far as how to beat this gambling addiction, I don't know. That's something I really don't have any expertise in. I know it's as strong as drugs. I think in some ways it can be even stronger. They get this idea that unless they keep going, well, they've lost it all. And, once you get to a certain point, you're desperate. And the only thing you can do to get that back is to keep on going and dig yourself deeper. Machines like, they have these video machines and bars and stuff you can gamble on. I think the payout on them is 26%. So in other words, 74% of the time you're going to lose. It's not good odds. It's great odds for the people who have the machine, for the bar who's getting a cut of it and all that. It's very bad for the one playing them. You can't come out on top over time. It's just not possible. The odds are totally against you. Totally. So like I say, I don't know how to tell you if you have a gambling issue, I can help people get off of drugs. I have a fair bit of know-how in that. Don't have any know-how in how to get a person to stop gambling. Usually they have to fall on their face completely and lose, they might even lose their wife or husband or whatever. The whole family might turn their back on them. They can lose their home. They could lose their job because maybe they did something shady at work to get extra money or something. I mean, gamblers it's a real sickness. It's not just a choice after a while. It's a full-blown addiction, and it's a very hard one to beat. So there's Gamblers Anonymous, and, there's places that help. Maybe that's helpful. I don't know. I don't know anyone who ever went to something like that, but if you are a gambler, remember, the odds are not in your favor, never will be. It's designed so over time you're going to lose. It has to be that way, or companies couldn't even bother with it, right? I mean, it's got to be set up for them to win. And if you go to a casino, The odds are in the favor of the casino. At every table you go to, every machine, no matter what, the odds are not good for you. So I've just been able to use logic that way, and it kept me away from it. But it's exciting. People, they jump up and down and scream when they win, and it was a bit of a rush to win the $150. That was fun, but just here's the worst thing I've ever heard about how strong the addiction is. People in casinos, after they put a certain amount of money in their machine, the one they're playing, they don't want to give that machine up because they know it's going to pay out eventually. So you don't want to have to go to the bathroom and leave your machine, someone else will take it. So they literally started wearing diapers. Okay? And other people in the casino would notice because suddenly there was a bad odor. And it was because people didn't want to leave their machines. So that these are adults. I'm not talking kids. Of course not. Kids can't get in a casino. Wearing diapers. So they didn't have to leave their machine, and they could stay there until it paid out. Now that is, wow. That is true. That was in the newspaper and everything years ago. Because Halifax never had a casino until a certain point. And the government convinced everybody it was a great thing for the economy and it was going to help the city. And what it did was bankrupt a whole bunch of people who were prone to gambling addiction. So I have much sympathy for these people, but it's like anything. If you're addicted to it, it's going to be a hard battle to beat it. And you're probably going to need some help if you try to do it on your own. And it's just like a drug addiction. You'll usually keep it secret. People don't like to admit, oh yeah, I have a gambling addiction. That's not a good thing. People look down on them and stuff, and it's something you want to keep secret. But if you want to beat it, you're probably going to have to confess and ask someone for help. That's all I can say. But I don't claim to be an expert on how to solve the problem. I wish I was, because it's a big problem. What I saw yesterday in the store really blew me away. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars went through there in 15 minutes. Like, wow. Wouldn't you rather go to the grocery store with that or something? So I will leave it there. I hope if you do have a gambling issue that you find a way to solve your problem before you lose everything you got, because that's where it leads. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you get anything out of it. And I'll see you in the next one. Remember that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life.